in his pants. Alec and Pete, bringing the heat. Alec and Pete, that kielbasa, bringing the heat. Alec and Pete.
All right, we're back. Week 27. If those of you that have been listening every week, you're going to realize that's the first time we've had a theme song. And you know why? It's starting now because we're growing. We're getting bigger and better every week. And that's what we do. This is Bringing the Heat with Alec and Pete. I'm your co-host, Alec. And we got Pete. What's up, Pete?
What's going on, guys?
And we got a special guest, good friend of mine. He's Irish kid, good looking, got some weird leg skin going on. You got to see it in person to believe it. KB, what's up, Kevin?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. And hey, the skin is probably my best quality. So I don't know what you're talking about there.
All right. Well,
yeah, where are you living out of a cave? I'm just visually looking right now.
Yeah, it's about 6 feet by 8 feet. So
yeah,
no, it definitely sucks. My bed takes up like half the room.
Yeah. Like the listeners know from the first couple of episodes out in Italy, I lived in the same thing. We're talking 5 by 5, no lighting, and I'm back in the same situation. But Kev, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a rundown. What's going on?
Yeah, so I actually just moved back down to Baltimore, Maryland. I went to school down here at Stevenson University. Big place. You guys probably heard of it. It's huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, great place.
They got good online there too. They got good
Arizona State online.
Hey, everywhere's Arizona State online now.
Excelsior College.
Well, you played baseball for them, right? You hit what, 105?
Is that what my stat line was? I thought it was lower.
Well, I looked it up, but they don't do D3 stats because they don't matter. But
thank God they didn't. I think I had one hit in my college career. It was a big day for me.
At least you're not one of the kids that we meet. And my buddy Wheeler, that he used to be one of these kids. It's like, well, it's D3, but we're like just as good as the D1 programs. And I had other friends like that. Now Wheeler has said, okay, my program is definitely D3, maybe high school football. So
yeah. Well, Wheeler's like the prodigy up there.
Oh well, yeah. We don't.
At least the way he talks about it.
Well, you were the prodigy up there. I mean, up at Stevenson. I mean, you had to be one of the cooler guys there. I can't imagine there's many cool people down there.
I mean, baseball I suck, so that definitely didn't help me at all. But
well, I don't know if Pete knew this. So Kevin went to BU for a semester with me, spring freshman year. And Kevin and I and a few other guys, your Connor was on it, on an intramural softball team. And so Kevin might have sucked at D3. I don't really know. Like, I'm just busting his balls. But I'll tell you this much, intramural softball, the kid was a fucking legend. Let me tell you.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was my peak performance my entire life. I felt like I was on top of the world when I was playing softball.
So first game of the season, we beat this out. It's co-ed, and our girls all played high school softball, and so we slapped this team,
stacking the team
40 something to 0, I think, or maybe it was 20 something to 0, something crazy. And it was so bad. Kevin hit a home run like 3 out of the 4 at bats or something like that. So finally, they're like, okay, we got it, like pitch way outside to Kevin so he can barely hit it. They throw it way outside to him. He literally steps over the plate and smokes it to right field over the fence.
Yo,
it was crazy. He had a boner the whole time running around the field and then humped home plate. It's what it is.
Were you sitting on the bench? You must have been sitting on the bench the whole time, right?
I was in center field picking boogers out of my big schnoz. That's what I was doing.
But I think Grassi was actually 0 for 4 that day.
Yeah, maybe
4 strikeouts.
Yeah, I was like the only kid to strike out in the league in softball. But whatever. Anyway, Pete, anything going on this week with you?
Well, as the listeners know, I'm always getting fucked somehow. This time it's my car again. What number car is this? Like 4 or 5? So I got a Jeep 2 months ago or something. And I'm on the highway and I'm going like 60 miles an hour. I hit a bump, just a normal bump. My Jeep starts to wobble back and forth. Like literally like the thing's going to flip. And so I'm like, all right, maybe I just hit a bad bump or something. Happens like 3 or 4 more times. I call my buddy. He's like, oh, that's the death wobble. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, yeah, it just sometimes happens with Jeeps. And so I looked this thing up. The definition for this is There's a very dangerous vibration that occurs on the front end of your vehicle. Just fucking the car is shot. The car is shot now. So yeah, I literally had somebody like pull up to me on the highway, drive right next to me, like Fast and Furious kind of vibes, put his window down and yell at me like your wheel's about to fall off until we pulled over. But I'll probably sell this car and just I don't know. Get a Volvo, 1990s Volvo or something. I don't fucking know. But
So what was the
that's what's going on.
It called? It's called a what was the word and then the definition?
Death wobble.
Death wobble. I had that in my ass, I think. You said it's deathly vibration or something. Yeah, I definitely have that in my ass.
But you get that from like, it's like long time wear. That's what it's from.
Wear and tear. That's what they called me in high school. Wear and tear.
Yeah. You gotta start using WD-40, something like that. WD-40, some type of olive oil. Just toss that. Yeah, it'll be fine. Just use that. But that's my life right there. What about
So nothing really crazy with me. I'm gonna get into what I'm doing this weekend with Kevin, but I want to talk real quick. My buddy, I'm not gonna say his name. I could say his name, doesn't really matter. Let's call him Mike. Let's call him Mike D'Angelo. And this guy is a total fucking whack job, let me tell you. And he's like the Tinder man, loves Tinder. He's always telling me about what he's saying. So his profile, he sent me a picture of what it says on there. It says, "A truth and a lie. I have a tiny penis. I've never hiked Whiteface." And then it's a picture of him at Whiteface Mountain with like the thing. I could show you guys. Like, I don't know if you see it, but he's at Whiteface. There's a sign for Whiteface. I can't believe. I don't know. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I don't know.
I saw something on Twitter where it was a guy did that for his Tinder profile. It was like the exact same thing. It's like, I have a tiny penis and I haven't been to what it was like China or whatever. And he was in like, it's a picture of like a sign saying China.
Later, I figured out that he stole that idea. Still, I think it's fucking funny. It's fucking funny.
Yeah. I think you would just wreck the Tinder game if you had it on there. Grassy, are you using that or no? You
have to this day and age. It's not as fun. You have to. It's not that fun. It's when you're 5'8" and your nose protrudes through the screen. It doesn't work that well. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you would dominate. The crazy thing is, Pete, and I know you don't like getting into it. The fact that your girlfriend watched our podcast, your current girlfriend, and she thought to herself, out of the two, she's watching the podcast, and she thought to herself, I want the chubbier kid.
This one,
and that did something to me. I mean, not that I want her, because I don't.
Yeah.
But
deep down,
it's like, wow, I lost to you. Like I legitimately lost.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, the nose might have been blocking the camera,
and that could be possible. But like, if we took 100, but we should do that. We should take 100 women, and us two stand next to each other and see what the odds would be. I mean, you're a cute kid. You're cute, but I mean, would you win? I don't know.
I would be down to do that. I would be down to do that. We can get some listeners. We can get all 15 of the listeners we have and have them line up in a room.
Yeah, good thing they're all guys, so that's good.
Yeah. And I think it bumped up to 16 yesterday. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Well, we're blowing up after the theme song. So
on the theme song, didn't our buddy Ben Kent? He was like in the hospital, like after, right during making the theme song.
I told this kid, he's a fucking hard nosed fucking not Christian kid, good Christian kid.
Yeah.
And he goes. I tell him Monday. I go, I need this song by Friday or Thursday. He goes, listen, my balls are hurting so bad I can barely walk, and my back hurts and my stomach hurts. I go to the doctor. He goes, I called my dad. My dad told me that's fine. My balls hurt all the time. I go, listen, man, your balls are not supposed to hurt all the time unless a girl's jerking you off and doesn't let you finish. That's the only time your balls should hurt. So finally he takes my advice, goes to the doctor. Doctor's like, yeah, you probably have appendicitis and that you have other shit on your, I guess a HIPAA violation, but he told me all this. He doesn't give a fuck. But he's got all this shit wrong with his balls. I'm like, dude, I had shit wrong with my balls. I went and got it done,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, just a classic thing. I mean, he called me. I called my dad, who's a gynecologist. He goes, Pete, I'm a gynecologist. I don't know what you want from me. You know what I mean? He deals with that. But he deals with
the opposite.
Yeah, opposite, but I still ask him every time just for
Uh-huh.
shits and giggles, see what he says.
Well, he's got a nice piece down there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your mom, by the way.
Yeah, no. I thought you were talking about the house or something. Now I'm gauging what you were fucking talking about. Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
what's been going on?
Well, hold up here, because I wanted to bring up one other thing, and maybe it's not that interesting, but I was watching Instagram Reels like I do to waste most of my day, and this influencer was like, "Did you know America only has 11 bans on their cosmetics, where Europe has 1,100 bans?" And she spelled it or she goes, "Mary Kay follows the Europe rule, so buy Mary Kay." And mind you, she spelled bands like bands with the D. And I'm like, so this bitch wants me to listen to her shit, buy her shit, when she can't even do the research. So she's doing all this research on all these bands that no one knows about, but then you can't even research the fucking right spelling on the word.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hate everyone.
That's what keeps you awake at night, right?
I get pissed off over everything. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
But this podcast, I
Yep.
feel a little attacked right now. I got 2 Irish fucking scumbags, and this is supposed to be
Yeah.
Italian podcast. It's what it is, and
Yeah.
I don't like it. But
That's rough.
anyway, this weekend, big weekend for me and Kev. I'm going down to Baltimore on tomorrow after work, and let me tell you what Maryland's known for: crab cakes and COVID, and I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's great. The bars are open till 2 now, so
yeah.
COVID has to be
really
just
and
electric
COVID
this
is
weekend.
rampant after 11 o'clock, as Cuomo stated. Like
it
it's
increases
just,
somehow. Yeah.
It likes drinking. It's a social infection or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Comes out in the night. That's what it is.
yeah, it's what I
You
do.
know what I don't get is a change from 10 o'clock to 11, as if the extra hour is really gonna make a difference of how many people are gonna get infected. Like you're kind of a moron for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we talked about it, I think, last week, and it goes along with most of the COVID rules that make pretty much no sense.
Yeah.
But
Like the sitting down at the table, you can have your mask off, but just walking, to the bathroom.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? But I think he's under investigation anyways. So,
yeah, he's like on multiple investigations now, sexual harassment, which
Are you flying down there or driving in the
4-hour drive? So I think that'd be a 30-minute plane ride. So maybe I'll do the plane. I didn't think about that.
You should probably just do the fucking plane.
Yeah.
I guess it's there.
But yeah, so our big topic for the week, and brought Kevin on. I want to talk to Kevin first about this, but Boston history we're going to touch on. And Kevin, your family is your father's side originally from Boston. You have any story stuff? Because I've never been. I'm Italian. Italians stay away from Boston. It's more of an Irish thing. I gotta, they don't like Italians. You ever watch Good Will Hunting? They don't like Italians. So, yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I don't have. So, yeah, my dad is from PB, which is North Shore, and my brother lives in South Shore. I have family that lives west of the city. So you think like I would know everything about Boston? And when you text me and was like, "Yo, we're doing Boston history this week," I was starting to write you down. I was like, "Oh fuck, I really just don't know that much about Boston." Like I'm the huge guy who's like, "Oh, I'm a huge Patriots fan." And all that good stuff.
Red Sox
fan. When you talk about the Boston history, it's like, holy shit, I actually don't know anything. But obviously, I mean, I looked it up. I know I'll let you take the Boston Tea Party thing.
Yeah. But, well, I didn't know if you had stories from growing up visiting your grandparents and whatnot. I didn't know if you had anything like that.
So one thing I'll say is when you think of like the typical Boston person, what do you think of?
That accent, the Harvard one.
Harvard Yard.
Big. I feel like they got big balls. New York has a little smaller balls. Boston's got bigger balls. Is that people think
anybody? Basically, anybody that was in Good Will Hunting, it's got to be.
Yeah, like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are walking around. Yeah, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I think of like that typical like Irish person who's always swearing.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, right before he passed away, I have a good story from him. So he just completely lost his entire filter. Like the Boston in him completely came out. So he was using a walker for his last, I don't know, 6 months. He had COPD really bad. But I'm telling you, there was this chair in his living room that was there for probably 20 years, like never once moved. And so he gets up from his bed and runs into this chair with his wheeler and goes, "Who the fuck put that fucking chair there?" And I was like, "Gramps, that chair's been there for the last 20 years. He's like, no one has moved it." He's like, "Nah, someone fucking moved it." And I've never heard like this guy's the nicest guy in the world, like big community guy, was a teacher and everything. Never heard him swear once, and he dropped the F-bomb at least 5 times in 30 seconds. It was incredible.
Jeez.
I love I love those old school grandparents. Like they're just the best.
If somebody over
like
70 swears, it's like a big thing. I'm very happy when I hear that.
Yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
think
So every time I go up there now, it's like, oh, you know, you hear the Boston fuck, you hear fuck every 10 seconds.
I want to know how that accent came about. Like, there's no accent even like it. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. We should have looked up how that accent came about because it's not like
it dates back to Anglo-Saxon times. Euphrates, Tigris, whole 9 yards. Something. Normandy and the Nordics, they kind of came over, and then Boston Tea Party happened. It'll tie into what you're going to describe.
So yeah, we can get into it. So I wanted to start maybe chronologically, get into the Boston Tea Party a little bit. Pretty crazy stuff. And let me pull up my notes here. So, the Boston Tea Party. It reminds me of Peter because the British started taxing the American colonists in a series of ways because the British were in serious debt. That sounds like what Peter kind of does to the American taxpayer. He's in serious debt. We will be paying for it. Right.
Yep.
And they had the Stamp Act, the Townsend Act, which included the tea. And the British felt it was fair because they were fighting a bunch of these wars, like for America, you know, French and Indian War, all these wars. And they were doing that on behalf of the colonists. And that's what they said claimed the cause of the debt. The leaders of the Boston Tea Party were called the Sons of Liberty. A couple of patriots, like the ones that stormed the Capitol. No, not really, but kind of like them.
Descendants.
Yeah. So
correct.
I think Trump was there back then. But but honestly, a cool name for that club. We don't have cool clubs anymore. Like I was in chess club. I want to be in the Sons of Liberty club. Pretty cool name. But so the guys there were like Benedict Arnold, who we should probably get on the podcast. Maybe we'll have Nancy reach out to his people.
Yeah. I think our buddy Kevin's related to him. I'm pretty sure.
So also
Kevin
part of
Shaheen.
Yeah, that's right.
Not to mention last names, but Kevin Shaheen.
Yeah. So we'll get in touch with Nancy. So so it was Benedict Arnold, Paul Revere, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, John Adams, and John Hancock were all part of the Sons of Liberty.
Oh, geez.
But for those that don't know, Hancock was actually my nickname in high school. So as we know, 342 cases of tea were dumped into the river or the ocean. The ocean, I can't. I bet it tasted pretty good. 342 cases. I mean, I would have loved to take a sip. A little ocean water, a little tea. Not the worst thing that could happen.
Just scoop a little cup, just scoop it out.
Little scoop skis.
I think the saltiness got to be disgusting now. It's got to be awful.
I like salt in my mouth.
A little sweet and salty.
You do like salt. Yeah, historically you do like salt.
And they were dressed as Native Americans. So, I mean, pretty interesting event there. I don't know. And I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Boston Tea Party, cool stuff? I don't know.
I want to know who, I guess, organized the outfits. You know what I mean? I think that's like a downplayed fact or a downplayed visual of what we're looking at. Everyone's like, oh, they're dumping it in. Dressed as Native Americans. Somebody's got to go out of their way to have somebody's grandmother make this. You know what I mean? It's like
so here's my prophecy on why they wore that. Well, this is obviously not real. So the first Thanksgiving was in Boston. I found that out while doing some research. So I think what they did was during that Thanksgiving with the Native Americans, which was, probably 200 years before or 100 years before this, they probably took their clothes, because, America, we pretty much took all the Native American stuff, we took their clothes too. And then we're like, you know what, let's save these and we'll use them for the Boston Tea Party in 100 years from now. So
you think it was a massacre and then they used those materials to do?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Everyone talks about Thanksgiving. They came together, but I think people were getting murdered, Yeah.
Yeah. Because you got to have leftover. I mean, I still have my lederhosen from Germany, just in case I get in a situation where I need to put those back on. So, I mean, I can reuse this stuff.
What's crazy is every year, I found this out when I was researching, every year on December 16th, they do a reenactment of the Boston Tea Party. They got to bring out the old uniforms. They have to.
They got to have a museum with that shit.
They got to.
I wonder if it's like the Santa run. You just get a bunch of people dressed up as Native Americans running toward it. It was off of a boat, right? Didn't they dump it off a boat or some shit like that?
Yeah, in the ocean.
Interesting.
I mean, nowadays, dressed as a Native American, that's got to be like illegal.
Well, I would think we would have heard about this,
Yeah,
for sure. This day and age. But yeah, I mean, so before Boston Tea Party was the Boston Massacre, and this kind of led to the Boston Tea Party, partly led to it, and that began because a colonist threw some snowballs at the British soldiers that were standing there. Let me tell you, man, we are soft. I could imagine throwing fucking snowball at some fucking guy that has a gun. You have nothing, and you're like, fuck this scumbag, and you throw a snowball at his fucking head.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit's crazy. So then obviously they got fucking shot. And you know what's crazy? They call it a massacre. Only 10 people died. I mean, a massacre's got to be like at least, or actually only 5 people died. I think massacre should be 10 plus.
It was like college. Wasn't it students or not? Or was it not students? It was in some type of square. The massacre. Wasn't it like 10? I thought it was
5. It was just 5 Irish scumbags. No,
motherfuckers that just jeez.
Definitely the Italians.
A snowball. Jeez.
Yeah, they threw a snowball right at his fucking head. It was awesome.
Yeah, imagine watching that today.
Be awesome, man. I mean, I want to throw a snowball at like someone.
Someone pulls a gun out on you. It'd
be over. A Glock.
I wish I used to work for Pudgies, and people would throw rocks at my car. I mean, going through like this is the love machine back then. I had a Pudgies symbol, and I don't know. People just throw rocks at my car. I didn't do shit about it, but damn, thinking about this story, I should have done something about that. It's kind of fucked up.
I mean, that's pretty much. Yeah, we're lucky, I mean, we don't have but honestly, we don't have the opportunity. Who are we gonna throw snowballs at? Like, we don't have British soldiers here. If I saw a British soldier, I'd probably throw a snowball at him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Did you guys see that the fucking thing on the news about the snow, people burning snow in Texas? What's up with that?
I got nothing. What's up, Cav?
I mean, I saw someone who also did it in New York, and do you see how they put it in a microwave and it started like sparking all that shit?
Yeah.
So a guy did it. Oh yeah, no. Some lady in Texas put like a chunk of snow in a microwave and it sparked like all over the place. But a guy did it in New York and it didn't spark. But then he did like a lighter test and the same thing happened. Like it burned, didn't melt. So it was something.
So yeah.
See, that's kind of what happens when I piss, like it burns, but it doesn't melt. So I wonder if it's kind of like that.
What burns? Your dick or the snow?
So it's a combo that my dick and the snow burns.
Probably UTI. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure it's UTI or chlamydia, either one.
So wait, are we thinking that somebody is making the snow down there? I don't understand. Are we thinking some kind of conspiracy or? First off, who lights snow on? Like, who's got a lighter and holds it up to snow? What's the thought process there?
Dude, I think they're just going nuts down there. They don't know what to do.
Somebody's got too much fucking time on their hands.
I mean, even in Baltimore, if we get 2 inches, everybody just loses their fucking minds. They have no idea what to do. People are crashing left and right. It's like, dude, it's 2 inches. Yeah. We get 2 feet like every other week in New York. Yeah. You can only imagine the people down in Texas. They probably don't know what to do.
Yeah. They probably 2-wheel drive cars. I've gotten stuck 4 times up here. I told myself I wouldn't, but I got a 2-wheel drive Jeep, the only one ever made, apparently. So I've called AAA a couple times. Yeah, and I've talked about it on the podcast. I've got some interesting Boston history.
Yeah, hit me with it.
I'll throw you a couple. All right. Back in 1885, there was a nurse named Jolly Jane or something. Kevin, let me know if you've heard about this. Probably history, Boston classes. You probably heard about this. But serial killer, a nurse who used to just fucking, I guess, administer, an upper and a downer to patients and just kind of keep tossing it at them until they overdosed. Killed 30 to 100 people. And my question is, did nobody realize after maybe 15 of her patients died, hey, maybe she's doing something wrong? Like what the fuck was going on there? I don't know. 30 to 100 people, which is Ted Bundy numbers, isn't it? Ted Bundy had 40 kills?
Yeah, something like that.
Ted Bundy was very methodical about it. So
yeah,
we'll do a history episode on him for sure.
Yeah, we'll hop back there. Another thing, the Molasses Spill. I don't know if we know about this.
Let's get into this.
1919. Okay, molasses. Isn't molasses fucking fat, like whale fat or something?
What is molasses?
Isn't
it you put it on your pancakes?
You make cookies with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, people always say you're as slow as molasses. So,
I think it's a thick.
I think it's what's in your stomach, Pete. It's thick. It's it's unhealthy.
Yeah. Probably beer mixed in somehow with it. It's used during the beer making process. All right. Long story short, it was a plant in 1919, and there was a molasses spill, which was basically just a fucking massive wave. What's that movie, 2012, where the world ends and the wave comes in, killed the city? This thing, a massive thing spilled, killed 21 people, 150 injured. And apparently there was 15-foot waves of molasses. So I don't know why we need all this molasses. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but Boston. That's Boston.
Maybe back then they used molasses for a lot of shit, because I've never heard of anyone using molasses.
Maybe it was a trading currency or something.
Yeah, 1919. Yeah, there was no money in 1919. That was that was before.
Just use it with a barter economy.
Yeah, that was when they still used a horse and buggy, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, let's keep with it, because molasses, 15-foot waves you're talking, and it just went down the city.
I guess I haven't seen a 15-foot wave really in my life at the ocean. I get maybe 6 to 8 feet, but 15 foot.
That seems insane, dude. It doesn't even seem real. It doesn't seem real. Kevin, you ever hear your grandparents ever talk about this?
No, and I actually had the same story. But imagine 15 feet of molasses coming at you, let alone water.
And that's why I give credit to women or anyone that guzzles things, because they got a lot of thick stuff coming at them, and they handle it very well. So shout out.
I think most of the deaths were men. That's why.
That makes a lot of sense.
I bet you would do fine though, if you were.
I would have survived that, no problem.
Yeah,
I would have died for sure. Easy.
No, I'm good with. I have a lot of practice. So yeah,
even if the molasses was shoulder or head height, forehead height, you can just tilt your head back and your nose catch the air. You'll be able to catch the air. It's like you ever see those movies where they got a straw and they're underwater? You know, the cartoons and shit.
Yeah.
Grassy would just use his nose as a boat.
Yeah. I have a good, so I have a shark fin. If I put my head straight up in the water, people get really scared. Even in pools, they're like, "Oh my God, what's coming at me?" But then they see my little pichelet and they're fine. So, yeah. But
I got something else. 1770, Harvard Club. Okay.
Ooh.
Apparently there was a club, and Sam Adams, I don't know was he the Sons of Liberty or some shit like that? Sam Adams.
He was the beer guy.
I know
Sam
that's
Adams.
The beer.
Sam the beer man.
But he was there was a Sam Adams that's famous.
I know.
They used to touch tips or something. But long story short, Harvard Club, they used to rob graves. I guess a bunch of kids were studying anatomy, and so they used to just fucking dig up graves and just study them. I don't know. Could you imagine your school having, BU, what did we have? I went to the BU senior year. We had a chess club. That's pretty intense, but
I already used chess club, so come up with a different one.
Knitting group, knitting club.
That way, so they would
the southern tier knitters.
Let's stick with Harvard. A lot of history with Harvard. So okay, that's crazy that they're digging up bodies. Like I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, I've seen my dad dig up bodies before, but I think it was a little different. Or maybe it was dig for bodies. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like that, or he was like, just come with me. I got to do something quick. I don't know.
We got to do something. Yeah.
I don't know. There was a guy like banging on the trunk. I was like, oh, that's weird. But yeah, so Harvard was actually the first college in America, for those that don't know that. And Mark Zuckerberg went there. And we all.
Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah. Have you ever watched anything?
I thought it was William and Mary was the first college. Maybe, you know what? Maybe history doesn't do me well. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll take that back.
You're more of a carbohydrate guy. So
yeah.
Zuckerberg went there, and without him, we wouldn't have social media as we know it. So really, we should fuck up Harvard because they fucking ruined everything. Social media sucks.
Wait.
It's trash.
You're saying that we wouldn't have it if didn't he drop out? He dropped out of Harvard.
Yeah.
Jeez. And then the school, a group tried to fucking take his idea and he had to sue back or something like that.
Yeah, but like it didn't matter because it was all his code.
Yeah.
They gave him like kind of the idea and he did everything else, you know. It's like me coming to you and saying, "Hey Pete, I think you should lose weight." And then you lose weight and then I expect some sort of gift from you for telling you to lose weight.
You act like you had an impact.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, here, fucking Boston or Massachusetts in general has pretty crazy schools. You got Harvard, you got Holy Cross,
MIT.
What else you got? MIT. What's the East and West? Isn't there an East? Northeastern.
Northeastern.
That's where my brothers went.
Okay. Yeah. I went to. Have you been to Holy Cross? Have you went to visit there? No.
I'm not.
I have a decent story from Holy Cross. Did I tell the story about me walking into a random house at 3 a.m.?
Maybe. Keep going with it.
All right. So I went to a party. It was in a basement or something. I'm there, and I think I was like hooking up with some girl or something. So I go to bring her back.
The story's already falsified. So
all right.
We'll let you tell it.
I think it was dark down there, so she must have. I don't know. I don't think she knew who she was making out with. But long story short, we go back to my buddy's house to hang. But in Boston, or I guess Massachusetts, like houses on the street look similar, don't they? Is that a thing or no? I mean, I've been Holy Cross. Houses look similar or some situation like that. But I walked into their neighbor's house at like 3 a.m. in the morning. The door was unlocked. And I'm in their main like kitchen room calling out my buddy's name. And I realized, I look around and I'm like, this does not look like his kitchen. And all the lights were off. So I just fucking bounced. I left. I'm surprised I wasn't shot, you know, with all that.
I'm shocked they had the door not locked.
Boston. Is that what they do in Boston? They just leave, they just trust in society? Or what's going on there?
I don't think really anybody gives a shit in Boston. Everything goes. At least when I've been there.
I've heard that they're the only like city where like fist fights still happen and like people don't kill each other. Like it's like you just have fist fights still and no one like in New York City, like if you have fist fight, like someone's bringing out a knife or a gun and someone's dying. Like Boston, like they still old school. They fucking beat the shit out of each other and they go home and have some fucking ham and cabbage or whatever the fuck you fuckers have to eat.
Ham and cabbage. Oh geez. You ever see anything sketch like that in Boston? Like you're out at a bar and people just start getting into a no.
So I've actually never gone out in Boston. I know my brothers, they've like heard gunshots all the time, but I haven't heard of any like physical fights that they've
those
gone
are just
in.
patriotic gunshots. They're just like, America, 1776.
Yeah.
War. Celebratory. Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know. You might like this because of the whole Patriots. Gillette Stadium. I had a buddy in high school who went to a lacrosse tournament there and got in a fight with police there or something. Hit a cop and ran away, and then a bunch of cops, bumped him up. Long story short, he's banned from Gillette Stadium for life. Could you imagine being banned from a fucking place like that for life? That I don't know. That would stop. That's just a side topic there.
Pretty
I
interesting.
don't even want to be biased, but I've been to Gillette Stadium. I think it was like 3 times. That place is got to be one of the coolest places in the country. That place is like off the charts electric.
Have you been to Fenway?
Yeah, I've been to Fenway once or twice. I've been years.
So a little history about Fenway. Well, sorry, Kev, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, Fenway Park, the oldest original MLB park still around, but who cares? It's not the Yankees. Shout out Derek Jeter. So, yeah, just want to put that out there.
I knew you were gonna just jerk off the Yankees on this, so that's why I didn't even bring up the Red Sox.
Wow,
I'm not a big.
You're such the typical Yankees fan.
What? Why? All I said is shout out Derek Jeter. I mean, I don't understand. Shout out 27 rings. Like, I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, exactly my point. Like, you guys could lose. Like, you could go 0-162, and you'll be like, oh no, we still got 27 rings. It's like your team is absolute dog shit this year. You should have no room to talk. But that's just the typical Yankees guy.
Yeah, Mookie Betts is doing good on the Dodgers, so congrats on that.
Oh, the Red Sox suck. Well, Boston sports is going to shit. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, how about the fact that everyone thought Bill Belichick was like he was the guru behind everything, and then it come to find out Tom Brady's just fucking animal with a fucking horse cock, and Belichick sucks ass. So
I know you guys already covered the Super Bowl, but how about Tom Brady just getting absolutely just hammered at the Super Bowl party? That was just beautiful.
Oh yeah. He's just on the boat. He's on the boat with his 2 buddies, just fucking wasted.
I mean, he was stumbling around worse than I ever have in my life. And
I know.
You guys probably never drinks in his life.
Yeah. Now with his diet.
He definitely's got to keep his body like a fucking temple.
And I know we talked about this briefly before, but like, I agree with you on this, Kev, because I'm sure you'll agree with me, is anyone that really hates Tom Brady, they're just like, I think they loathe themselves. They hate themselves because how could you hate that man? He literally is just good at everything. And then fucking he posts a few videos of him and Gronk being fucking funny. Like, he's fucking funny. Like, I don't know how you could hate that guy just because he's fucking good at everything. Like, I don't know.
I definitely jerked him off all the time because he was made my childhood the best. But if you don't like the guy is all time. He's ridiculous. If you don't like him, you're not a football fan. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I love Brady, but Edelman's like fantastic. The fact that Edelman is like he's best buds with Tom Brady, like Gronk. I would say even more possibly, right? But Edelman's just like a fucking hard. Is he from Boston? Or no?
No, I think he's from Cali.
Okay, but just
everyone's from California. I swear, Tom Brady's from California. Fucking
all good athletes are out there.
Brady's from California.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Where do you play? You going to Michigan, right, or something?
He went to Michigan. Yeah. That's where I think the Portnoy went to Michigan too, right? Barstool Prez.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he was there when Tom Brady. Like, I think he's had a long like he's been loving Tom Brady since like day one. You know, I think.
Jeez.
You think they would have been good friends in college?
Oh,
no chance. They probably would have loved it.
Portnoy's the coolest dude in the fucking planet.
No, it's crazy because he's got 2 totally different sides. It's like you watch these videos of him handing out the $50K that he gives to these like businesses or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you see like that porno video of him just absolutely dogging a chick from behind.
Yeah, like that's why he's so great. He's genuinely a great.
It's ridiculous. It's like.
He's a great guy. He's got a heart of gold, but he's also like a total degenerate in the best way.
He can do whatever he wants. It's ridiculous. Like if one of us did that, we would have no friends.
I don't even have any friends right now. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Whatever. That's another story. Talk to my therapist about.
He's fucking living the life. He's living the life. I wish I had his job. He can do whatever the fuck he wants and throw it on his on Barstool there and he's set for life. Just with his name and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. But do we have anything else about Boston? I have a few things. I don't know if you guys had anything else.
Yeah, I got something. Well, yeah, all right, here's something. Some guy got a death penalty or something in Boston, and then he signed a legal document where they had to take his skin and cover his own autobiography with his skin. That's some weird shit. Some Boston shit, probably. You guys do that often.
They're all about skin in Boston. Foreskin.
That's probably why I'm related to Boston, is because I have shitty skin.
Yeah. You gotta see his skin. It's crazy. Girls dig it though.
Really? It's like a science experiment, some kind of.
It's almost to the point where it's like a conversation starter, because everybody's like, "Oh, your skin's cool." It's like, no, you're a moron. It looks like shit. It's actually, I don't know what people think that it's so cool.
Well, he's really insecure about it. Like we'll be like doing stuff in the summer, like hot 100 degrees out. He's wearing fucking jeans. You know, I'm like, Kev, put some shorts on. He's like, no, I can't. It's not that bad out. Kevin, you're sweating.
He's out in like the long ski pants. You know what I mean? The thin ones. Another thing, 1990, there was an art heist. Biggest art heist in history, I think, in the United States. 300 million worth stolen. And these motherfuckers just dressed up as cops, and security let them in. They took all the fucking stuff, I think, midday, and then just walked out with it. I mean, could you imagine having the balls to just walk in a cop uniform and grab $300 million worth of art? I don't know. I think there's pretty.
I don't like art. Is that bad?
I know, but I'm saying sell it off, buy whatever the fuck you want. It's kind of like, you guys ever watch, what is it, the Nelk Boys? They wear the security vest or safety vests, and they walk into fucking random places, pretend they're part of like a building unit or something. They just do some random shit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. No, nothing.
I don't watch the Nelk Boys. I've heard about them.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's my history right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was going back to colonial times. So like after all that tea and shit happened, the King George, that fat bastard. I think, do you know King George, Pete? I don't know if you guys.
King George, that's a type of bread. It's a brand of bread. Right?
So he puts on all these rules after the tea shit happens, and he's like, listen, we're closing the fucking harbor until the harbor. I think he said the harbor. Yeah, harbor. We're closing that down until you guys pay the tea back. We're doing all these new laws, like the British troops would have to the colonists would have to take in the British troops, like they'd have to stay with them.
Yep.
There's a word for it. I didn't write it down because words are overrated. But yeah. So I was thinking that the British troops were probably bagging the fucking colonist wives left and right. I mean,
100%.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, they have to go in there, and then they've got muskets or whatever the fuck they had back then. Did they have swords? They were using swords back then, right?
I think they had AR-15s, right?
AR-15s. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know. I could see that. What's it called? Like Haagen-Dazs boarding? I don't know. I think there's a German term for it too.
Escorting. I've done that before. I think
that's where the name
escorting
came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
You did that in over in Appalachia.
Well, someone told me like you just escorted that guy. I was like, oh yeah. So I think.
Oh, okay. You brought the guy back in your house.
Right. Yeah, okay. And so so that makes sense.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Jeez.
Yeah. So we got about a minute left. Closing thoughts, Kevo. Anything you want to get about Boston, everything?
Well, I'll give you guys one quick question. So I'm actually moving in with 3 girls. How do you guys feel about living with chicks? Guys living with chicks.
How did we not address this earlier?
I know.
I was gonna bring it up.
You gotta extend it. We'll extend it. We'll have to extend this question because this is a big one.
All right,
Peter, you go first.
Here's the first question. All right, you got a girlfriend?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, this is gonna be a shit show here. I mean, well, what are these girls like? What are we talking? We're talking.
Two are cuffed up. One is not.
Okay.
But she's one of my best friend's ex-girlfriends. Sticky situation there.
Ooh. So yeah, you got. I guess you're fine then. Yeah, I guess you're fine because they're probably the first day they're probably gonna see your legs and your skin. So apparently, so I think you'll be fine. But I mean, it could be solid. I don't know how you like. Sometimes you want to get a drink with the boys. I don't know what you're gonna do there. You might have to watch like Bachelor and shit. You know, like a Bachelor night or something. I don't
Here's
know.
what I think's gonna happen. And as long as they think you're a decent guy, like I have some friends that are girls. Some they helped me hook up with their friends left and right. That's really the only reason I ever hooked up with girls in college is my friends in college really liked me. They wanted me to hook up with their friends. So I think that could be a possibility. Now, my home friends think I'm a scumbag, so they actually tell girls don't touch me or don't go near me.
Yeah.
And because I've asked, hey, why don't you hook me up with her? And they're like, Alec, we think you're a shitty piece of shit. So don't touch our friends. We're gonna tell them not to touch you. Like, oh, sounds good. Have a nice night. Want to get dinner later. But so I think what is gonna happen for you, Kev, because you're actually a decent human being, is I think they're gonna hook you up with a lot of they're gonna have girls' nights. They're gonna hook you up with their friends. But you might already know all the people that they know because you've been down there for years. So I don't know.
That's the issue. And it's 3 of my best friends from school. And luckily it's only a 3-month thing, but
so you already know the people they know, probably.
Yeah.
But I think like living there, they're cleanly as fuck. Living with guys fucking blows, dude.
Oh, sucks.
It's disgusting. Like I'm disgusting and I'm better than most, and guys are disgusting. So I think it's gonna be. I think you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
There might be a certain time, maybe once every month, I don't know, that you might not want to be in the house, and maybe you take a little walk. You know.
Like a 5-day period or a 4-day period.
Yeah, I'm not sure
every
though.
month. I don't know.
I think
I'll call my dad. I'm gonna call my dad about that. He might know it.
Yeah.
Like I might just have to sleep on the streets for a night just to get out of here. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Just lock yourself in your room or in your closet, whatever. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
the real game would be Orgy Central, but whatever. So.
Jeez, you got to share a bathroom.
I've seen your game, Kev. We've gone out together, and I've seen your game. It's not good. It's not good.
Oh no, it's bad. It's bad.
Is it a 1 bath, 4 bedroom, or what are we talking? 2 bath.
2 bath. So I still share, but yeah, that's the kind of thing that's I'm a little, worried about. What am I gonna find in a girl's bathroom? You know what I'm getting at.
Who knows?
I'll tell you one thing. Hair everywhere, fucking everywhere, dude. I lived with a girl for she was like a roommate of the house. We were 3 guys and then 1 girl, and I could not. We vacuumed when she left, dude. It clogged up the vacuum. We were cutting hair off of the filter of the vacuum, so just be ready for that shit. Other than that, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But
good luck. You'll be.
You guys didn't really help me with any advice here. So
yeah. Well, there's nothing we can tell you. We're a bunch of idiots. So
yeah.
But yeah. So good episode. I'll see you tomorrow, Cavo. Can't wait.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
And we'll talk soon. Bringing the heat with Alec and Pete. Have a nice weekend.
See you guys.